Hello there. Welcome to our special bonus video, a supplement to our series, A New Year, A New You, that's happening all December long on our YouTube channel, Oversight Global's Transformation Channel. I'm so excited to be able to put this bonus together for you, and I'm so blessed and excited to be able to support you in creating a strong foundation of awareness, clarity, and inspiration for your upcoming year. Now, in this bonus video, we'll take time to reflect on this past year as well as lay a foundation for the upcoming year. But first, before we go any deeper, for those of you who may not know me, my name is Angelie Kapoor. I am a professional career and leadership coach, trainer, writer, author, and speaker with a successful over 20-year career in the healthcare industry, a majority of that time in leadership and management roles. I'm also the founder of Oversight Global, an organization that addresses the consciousness crisis in the world by advocating for awareness and consciousness on several levels: individual, group, business, personal, and professional levels, and educating and empowering individuals and businesses to be aware of and strive to fulfill their fullest potential and uniquely contribute to the world. Now, do you know the true depth and importance of the power of goal setting? Now, if you're anything like I was a few years ago, I had sort of a generalized idea about goals and goal setting. I knew that goals kept us challenged, motivated, and inspired. I also knew that sometimes I set goals that I forgot about and then would be like, oh yeah, I did want to do that. Or I would set goals and ride heavily on mere hope that someday they'd be accomplished. Sound familiar? I've since learned that setting goals that you really want to accomplish takes intention. It takes really knowing yourself, who you are, what you want, what your patterns, behaviors, and habits are. It also takes a bit of planning to not just set your destination, but to also create your path, a road to what you want, instead of just continuing to be at the mercy of the world and just walking blindly through life. When you regularly reflect and pursue your wants, your goals in a structured, intentional way, you are creating the life that you desire and are truly meant to live. You're no longer letting others or circumstances dictate the life that you have. Does that make sense? I've seen for far too long that many of us do not fully utilize the power of goal setting. You see, goal setting doesn't just stop at verbalizing or writing something down that you want. If you don't put any more effort or thought into achieving that goal, it's basically just a hope, a thought, a fortune cookie. But when we start to realize and understand the importance of our goals and the power of them, we make accomplishing them not just a hope, but a reality. Now, how profound is that? Doesn't that sound amazing? Just stop and imagine for a moment you being able to have the career, the life that you desire, and be the person that you truly are, feeling passionate, fulfilled, and like you're living your purpose every day. Sounds amazing, right? Now, this bonus video that I put together was really inspired by two things. One, from my experience several years ago, actually it was the end of the decade, so about 3 years ago, where I experienced for the first time what it meant to be intentional about goal setting and experiencing the empowerment and clarity that it brings. I've since been practicing intentional goal setting ever since. And two, the amazing tips, tricks, strategies, and methods from our experts and entrepreneurs on our A New Year, A New You series. Our panel of 9 experts are sharing their experience and tremendous insights and amazing gems of wisdom on intentional goal setting with us. In putting together this bonus video, my hope is to support you in the implementation of these incredible tidbits that our experts are sharing with you now in our series. Now, here's what you can expect for the rest of this bonus video. Now, I've broken this down into 2 separate parts: 2022 in review and what's next in 2023. Now, in part 1 of 2022 in review, it's really a time for us to reflect. We're going to recognize and celebrate our wins. We're also going to look at how our knowledge and wisdom has increased this past year. And we're also going to talk about no negative vibes, letting things go that no longer serve us so they don't hinder us or keep us stuck as we're trying to move forward. In part 2, what's next in 2023, we're really going to be creating intention and clarity. We're going to be pinpointing our wants as well as coming up with a theme for ourselves for the year. We're also going to look at getting some advice from our future selves, as well as doing a ritual to release the things that we no longer need, that no longer serve us, and also manifest what it is that we want and desire. And then we'll wrap it all up. So here is what you'll need and some tips that I have for you. So you'll want to get out your journal or a notebook or some paper for this. This process is going to require you to be very active and to fully participate to get the most out of it. I would plan on scheduling an hour, maybe even more a day over the next few days to complete this process. Do this as an act of devotion. Think of it as a loving gift to yourself that really extends far beyond just you. If you enter into this process with a gentle attitude of appreciation for yourself, then the whole process will truly be transformational. Again, I recommend that you take this process one section at a time, probably one section per day. Now try to resist racing ahead to the next section. Be diligent and commit to fully completing each section before moving on. Now be aware that as you approach each of the sections and their activities, some may jump out at you and cause excitement, while others may trigger resistance. Fight the temptation to skip over anything. I encourage you to take notes of your initial feelings as they arise and try to sit into them as you go through the activities. It's here in these tricky, uncomfortable places that you will likely find the true wisdom that makes this process so powerful. Now remember that this is not a test and it's not an opportunity to label or judge yourself. It's an exercise in awareness, in consciousness, in acknowledgement and understanding and intention. So hold yourself and give yourself some grace as you move through this process. Ultimately, this is a process of empowerment, and it begins with self-love. Lastly, I highly recommend creating a sacred space for yourself for this process if you do not already have one. Now, a sacred space is simply a container. It's easy, quick, and simple to create. Now, why do we want a sacred space? Well, a sacred space is a physical as well as an energetic space of connection and centering. It serves as not only an anchor for your spiritual practice, but somewhere to amplify it as well. It's a space that is separate from your everyday world. Now, here in your sacred place, your sacred space, you can escape the hustle and bustle of work and the pressures and demands of responsibility and family. It's a place that is all your own, into which you can invite positivity, clarity, calm, light, as well as any spirit guides or angels that you might want to invite as well, if you want to do that as well. Practicing this process inside a sacred space will allow you to be able to go deep into the work, and you'll be able to be held and witnessed by the extra energetic support of the universe and spirit. It will also serve to elevate the practice from something quite ordinary to a sacred act, and this will inevitably boost your own level of commitment. Now, to create a sacred space, again, it's not hard and it's not expensive. You don't need a full-time dedicated space. A comfy corner in your sitting room or bedroom will work just fine. You don't need to rush out and buy anything. The most important ingredient is your intention and the opportunity to enjoy your space with no distraction or interruption. Now, I hope you are all just as excited as I am for this process. We'll be going through it together. So make yourself a cup of tea, light a candle, sit down somewhere safe, quiet, and comfortable, and gift yourself the time to be conscious and intentional. Are you ready? Let's jump right in. Okay, let's first spend some time reflecting on this past year. Now, I not only believe, but have found that taking some intentional time to internalize, to slow down, connect, and become aware of your thoughts and feelings is fundamental to creating clarity and true intention with understanding. To begin, let's take a few moments to get into a state where you'll be able to connect and be receptive. Now, to do this, we're going to harness the power of our breath. Now, this is where I need you to be open-minded if you're not used to doing things like this. It helps to close your eyes, but please don't if it's a safety hazard like you're driving or using heavy equipment. But close your eyes if you safely can and take 3 cleansing breaths, full inhales and exhales. So let's do this together. So fully inhale and exhale. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, how was that? Feel much better, right? More relaxed? Now, one of our experts in this series, John Slocum, walks us through an amazing demo of this. I really encourage you to be sure to catch this episode. And I also want to encourage you to ground and drop in with the power of your breath before working on each of our sections that we'll go through. So as our first step, we're going to look back and think about this past year, 2022. I know it's been another tough and challenging year for all of us all around the world, but despite the difficulty and challenges you may have faced, I'm sure that there have been some wins, right? And it's more important, more than ever, that we recognize our wins that we've had. There are definitely some wins this year. You just have to sit down and give it some thought. Now, if you follow me on this channel or any of my social media profiles, you know that I'm always saying that recognizing and celebrating your wins, your accomplishments and achievements is super important. Why? Can you tell me? Because regularly practicing, recognizing, and celebrating our wins helps us to increase our confidence, improve our self-esteem and self-worth, and helps us quiet that inner critic that we have that can be so destructive to our confidence, our belief in ourselves, and also allowing us to feel good about ourselves and love ourselves. Now, think about what you've accomplished and achieved this past year. It doesn't matter how big or small, just think about any obstacles that you've overcome. Obstacles at work, home, for yourself personally, like mindset. Obstacles or any behaviors or patterns that weren't serving you. Obstacles or challenges in your life. What obstacles or challenges have you overcome this past year? What dreams or experiences did you realize? Just take a deep breath and just do a brain dump into your journal, notebook, or on a piece of paper. What have you overcome and accomplished? What results have you seen or improvements have been made in different areas of your life? Did you discover that you're stronger than you ever thought you were? Did you overcome the challenge of having to pivot again to working on site from working remotely? Have you been struggling financially, but somehow you made it all work? Now, after you have your list, highlight, underline, or circle the things that you've accomplished that are significant to you, particularly significant that you really resonate and connect with, that you're really proud of. Now, take these 1 to 3 achievements. Now, if you have more, that's fantastic. But take these achievements and think about why you feel they are particularly significant. Did a particular achievement change your perspective or improve your self-esteem? What's significant? Think about it and write it down. You may actually be somewhat surprised or find just how proud you really should be of yourself. Because trust me, you've accomplished more this year than you think, and there's amazing significance to our accomplishment. Okay, so here is a checklist, just a reminder of what your activity is for this particular section. So again, you're going to make a list of what you've achieved and accomplished this past year. List everything, big or small. Think about what obstacles or challenges you've overcome, what improvements have been made in your career, your life, your health, your finances, in your perspective, your attitude, behavior, response, thinking. Then after you have your brainstorm list, highlight 1 to 3 achievements or accomplishments or more that really stand out for you or that you're really especially proud of. Think about and write out why it's particularly significant. Then when you've completed this activity, I'll go ahead and see you in the next section. Okay, so now on to taking stock of what we've learned this past year. Now, how has our knowledge expanded? Again, this is going to take some internalizing, so let's definitely take some time to get centered and grounded in order to do this section's activity with clarity. So go ahead and pause the video for a minute or two to do just that, to get grounded and drop in with the power of your breath. Okay, so now that we're all grounded in, we're going to take a look and think about this past year once again. However, we're going to be reflecting on what we've learned. Although this past year likely held some challenges and obstacles for you, I definitely know that you've increased your wisdom and your knowledge this past year. So how can I be so certain? Because I know that change brings about growth. And I know that this year has been full of changes for all of us. Therefore, I know with certainty that there's been growth, that we've expanded our knowledge as well as our wisdom. Have you noticed that too? So let's get into it. Go ahead and pull out your journal and pen or whatever you're writing in and think about what you've learned this past year. What things, knowledge, wisdom have become super clear for you? Maybe at work, in your business, in your relationships with others, with your health, and how about you personally? It may help to look at mistakes you made this past year because we always learn from those, right? Again, it doesn't matter if it was something big or small that resulted in you expanding your wisdom and knowledge. What matters is that it happens and you realize it and you recognize it. Did you learn how to fail forward? Did you learn that you're stronger than you thought you were? Did you learn that you need to give some relationships more attention? Remember, this is a brain dump, so don't try and overthink or overanalyze anything. Just write down what comes up for you. Now, after you have your brainstorm list, highlight, underline, or circle the things that you learned that you find are most significant to you. And take these 1 to 3 wisdom and knowledge expansions and think about why they are significant. Did you finally learn something you've been trying to learn for years? Did you discover something about your world, or the universe that was an aha moment for you? What's the significance? Think about it and be sure to write it down. You may find that you've learned more than you thought you did this past year. You may find that what you learned has so much significance in what you do or how you perceive things. Okay, so here's this section's checklist. A reminder of what your activity is for this portion of the process. Now make a list of what you've learned, how you've expanded your knowledge this past year. List everything big or small. Think about mistakes you've made and what you learned. What have you learned in your career, your life, about your health, and about yourself? When you have this list, highlight 1 to 3 learnings that are really significant to you. Think about it and write out why it's particularly significant. And with that, I'll go ahead and see you in the next section. And we're back. How are things going so far? I hope you're learning some wonderful things about yourself in this past year for you. Now, in this third section, we'll spend some time reflecting on this past year one last time. Now, to recap, so far we've reflected on what we've accomplished and what we've learned in this past year. Now, as we move on, we're going to dive in a little deeper and uncover what things we need to let go of from this past year. Now, this can be somewhat uncomfortable since typically we don't find it pleasurable to think about those types of things, right? But it is extremely important and needed for us to progress and grow. You see, letting go of what no longer serves you is the very first step towards any real change. Yet it's the step that so many of us forget about or are unaware is needed when we're trying to manifest something new into our lives. Now, as part of intentionally setting goals, we must include this process of letting go. Why? Because without consciously releasing the things that no longer serve us, those same old feelings, thoughts, behaviors, beliefs, habits, routines, addictions, and even relationships will just keep on showing up and can even hinder us from what we actually want. So while life may look a little different on the outside, the patterns playing out for you and holding you back will be exactly the same if we don't release them and let them go. Am I making sense? So again, we'll be doing some internalizing in order to do this. So this time, perhaps even more a deeper sense of connection and receptivity will be needed. So again, let's go ahead and take a few moments to use the power of our breath to ground in before we continue with this section of letting go. So go ahead and pause and do just that now, and I'll see you afterwards. So like I said, we're going to look back over the past year and think about what we need to let go of in order to go into the upcoming year with more positivity and not with any type of negative baggage. We want to start off the new year with positive vibes and with minimal to no negative vibes from this past year. Because again, this past year has been so challenging and such a roller coaster for us all, we might find that we have a little bit more to let go of from this year than we may regularly have. Again, as uncomfortable as it might be, it's super important to recognize the things we need to let go of so they no longer hinder us, limit us, or stop us, or keep us stuck, or keep us from progressing and moving forward like we want and like we should. So let's get to it. What are some things that you need to let go of? What are maybe some old projects or old goals that you find yourself constantly trying to do or get done, but it never does? What resentments, frustrations, or negative or toxic feelings are keeping you from moving forward now? This is a big one. What limiting beliefs or old stories do you have that just keep you from achieving your goals and shining brightly at your full brightness? Do you keep getting caught up in the same old stories that keep you from success? Again, this is a brain dump, so please don't overthink or overanalyze this. Just ask yourself these questions and just write down what comes up for you as you do this activity. Now, again, after you have your brainstorm list, you're going to highlight, underline, or circle the things that you feel are most important for you to let go of. Take these and think about why it's important, why it's imperative for you to let it go. Will letting it go help you with some relationships? Will you feel freer and lighter? Will you be able to get out of your own way? Why is it important to let these things go? Think about it and then write it down. You might find this activity to be uncomfortable or even difficult to do, but again, it's super important for us to do this in order to fully be able to say goodbye to this year and move forward into the next year with positivity, clarity, and inspiration. Okay, so again, here's the checklist for this activity, for this section of no negative vibes. So you're going to make a list of what you need to let go of from this past year. List everything. It doesn't matter whether it's big or small. Think about old projects and old goals, any resentment, frustrations, or negative feelings you might be holding on to, any limiting beliefs or old stories that keep you stuck. Once you have your brainstorm list, highlight 1 to 3. Although you'll likely have more, these are the things that are super important, super imperative that you let go of. Think about them and then write out why it's important for you to let them go. Okay, congratulations are in order. You've completed part 1, 2022 in review. You should be super proud of yourself. It's an amazing accomplishment. It's not easy to go deep and internalize and reflect, so great job. Enjoy this milestone progress in this process of intentional goal setting, and I'll see you in the next section. All right, welcome to part 2, what's next in 2023, creating clarity and inspiration. Now here we'll spend some time thinking about what we want in this upcoming year and pinpointing our top 3 goals, as well as our theme for the year. So to recap, we wrapped up part 1, 2022 in review by reflecting on what we need to let go of from this past year. Now, how was that? Did you find it uncomfortable? Did you find it helpful? Now we get to move on to the fun stuff, thinking about and declaring what it is that we want. We're going to internalize and think about what it is that we desire. We're going to start off by prepping for an amazing, successful new year by looking at what it is that we want in 2023. Again, though, before we get to our activity, let's do a quick grounding, a quick drop in. Now, you know the drill. Go ahead and pause this video for a few moments to use your breath to focus and get centered. Awesome. Now, hopefully you're feeling more relaxed and able to turn inward for our activity. So again, this is our first activity of creating clarity, inspiration, and positivity. For our upcoming year, we're going to look at what we want and figure out our top 3 goals as well as our theme for 2023. Now, again, if you follow me, you may have noticed that I talk a lot about the importance of goals. You see, goals give us a destination to strive for. They help us create a path to follow. They help us learn, grow, and change as to who we need to be in order to be ready to receive the accomplishments of our goals. Now, if you don't have goals, we can find ourselves feeling bored, feeling unchallenged, feeling like we're just meandering through life with no real aspirations. Now, we're all ambitious souls here, so I know none of us wants that, right? Okay, so let's get into it. Pull out your journal, notebook, or piece of paper, and let's really dig deep. Now, what is it that you want for 2023? What do you want to create? What do you want to experience? What do you want to accomplish or achieve? Think about these questions in regards to your health and your well-being, your finances, your relationships with your friends, families, co-workers, and others in relation to your business or your work or your career. Think about how you want to feel personally or how you want to be personally and also emotionally. Think about how you want to contribute or how you want to give. Again, don't overthink or overanalyze this. Just write down what comes up for you. We're internalizing in order to not just look at what we want in our heads, but also what we want in our hearts and spirit as well. This is the time to really get to know and learn about yourself. Now, you probably have a pretty good list. I know I sure do when I do this. Now, take your list and highlight, underline, or circle the things that are most important to you and then number them from 1 to 10 or however many you have by importance, by priority. The things that you feel you should look at first. Then you're going to narrow it down further and write down your top 3 goals from your list. Now, when you have that, take a look at these goals and think about why they are important. How will they change things for you, for your family, for your friends, for your finances? How will they change things for your life? Now, think about who you need to become in order to achieve them. Is it going to take you being brave, determined, diligent? Is it going to take you being gentle with yourself? What is it going to take and who will you need to become? Now, after that, think about a theme, a word for you to focus on to keep in mind as you pursue your goals in 2023. Now, your theme might be something like resilience, connection, being bold, whatever you feel will keep you inspired and motivated this upcoming year in achieving your goals. Now, once you have your theme, be sure to write it down. Okay, so let's go over this section's checklist. Now, just as a reminder of what your activity is. So make a list of what you want for this upcoming year. Now list everything, big or small, it doesn't matter. Think about what it is that you want to create, what it is you want to experience, what you want to accomplish or achieve, and think about them in regards to your health and well-being, your finances, your relationships, your business, your work, or your career. Think about what you want to do, what you want for yourself personally. How do you want to feel emotionally? Think about what you want to how you want to contribute and give. Think about what you want to contribute and give. And after that, highlight your most important ones, then number them from 1 to 10 by importance. Then narrow it down further by picking out your top 3 goals, and then figure out why you feel these are important for you to accomplish. And after looking at everything, come up with your theme for 2023. And with that, I will see you in the next section. And here we are in our second section of part 2 of what's next in 2023, creating clarity and inspiration, where we're spending some time thinking about what we want and finding clarity and creating positivity and inspiration. So to recap, in the previous section, we did quite a bit actually in looking at what we want for the new year. We brainstormed our wants, not just from our heads, but from our hearts and our spirits as well. We gained further clarity by figuring out our top 3 goals, and we came up with our theme for the year by looking at who we need to be or become in order to achieve our goals. So how was that? Did you find anything surprising in your wants? Any aha moments? Now, in this section, we're going to do something a bit different. So again, I ask that you keep an open mind. It's a bit different than what we're used to, but I wouldn't include it if it didn't have powerful results. Now, we're going to channel our future selves and see what it is he or she wants us to know in order to achieve what we want in 2023. Again, this might sound a bit strange or weird, but it's an activity where you really have to lean in and trust yourself, because let me tell you, you have more wisdom, power, and strength than you think or even realize that you do. And you are more connected with your inner wisdom, your inner strength, and your inner power than you realize. You just need to trust. Now, this is an activity that I've actually done myself several times over the past few years. I've actually found that I receive these letters from myself at just the right time, and it tells me. It reminds me exactly what I need to hear at that time. And every time I am utterly amazed at the accuracy of what I need to hear and be reminded of. I've been brought to tears every time I received a letter from my future self. Now, writing these letters is such a powerful exercise in awareness, further exploring and getting to know yourself and investing even deeper in your goals and intentions. So this is definitely going to take some internalizing. It's going to take going deep inwards and connecting with our inner power, strength, and wisdom. So let's go ahead and ground in and get centered and ready to receive. So go ahead and pause the video and do that right now. Okay, awesome. Hopefully you're not only feeling more relaxed, but you're also feeling safe, comfortable, and loved. Hopefully you're feeling open to receive for our activity in this section. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. Now pull out your journal, notebook, or a piece of paper and really go deep within. Look back at your previous activities that we've done from our 2022 review. Look at your highlights of what you've accomplished, what you've learned, and what you need to let go of. Also, look at our activity from what we've done so far in preparation for 2023. Look at your highlights, your goals, your theme, who you need to be or become in order to achieve your goals and create the year that you want. Now think about your future self. Who is she or he? What does she or he look like? Where is she or he? Who is she or he with? What does she or he do? What does she or he want you to know? In order to achieve your goals, what do you need to be aware of? What do you need to look out for? How has letting something go helped you, allowed you to accomplish your goals, and just simply start writing? Now, let me tell you from my experience, it just seems to flow. Your future self, your higher self, just seems to take over. Once you get started, it will seem like you just automatically are just writing. So once you are done with your letter, fold it up and keep it in an envelope. Or if it's in your journal, you can simply just leave it there. Put it somewhere where you'll remember and set a reminder on your calendar in Google Outlook or on a paper calendar to prompt you to find your letter and open it around this time next year. Again, I'm telling you from my own experience that it will simply be magical when you read your letter next year. Okay, so let's look at our checklist for this section. Now, just a reminder of what your activity is. So go ahead and look at what you've highlighted in our activities from 2022 and review. So what is it that you accomplished and achieved? How have you expanded your knowledge and wisdom? What is it that you need to let go of? Also, look at what you've done so far and what's next in 2023. Creating your goals, finding a theme for yourself and who you need to be and become in order to achieve your goals. And simply write a letter to yourself from your future self. Put it in an envelope, put it somewhere where you'll remember, and set a reminder on your calendar prompting you to pull it out and read it again around this time next year. And with that, I will see you in the next section where we will be releasing and manifesting through a ritual to say goodbye to 2022 and hello to 2023 with the right mindset, spirit, and energy. Hello again. Now, first of all, congratulations on all you've done so far to prepare yourself to say goodbye to 2022 and hello to a wonderful, successful 2023. I know it's been a lot and you should be super proud of yourself. Welcome to our last section of our What's Next in 2023, where we've been spending some time finding clarity and creating positivity and inspiration for the new year. Now, to recap, in the previous section, we did something a bit different. We connected with our inner wisdom, power, and strength and discovered what our future self wants us to know about our 2023. So how was it? What did you think? Did anything come up for you when writing your letter? Now, what we're going to do is, again, we're going to do something a little bit different. So again, I ask that you keep an open mind. We're going to do a bit of a ritual where we cleanse ourselves from 2022 and visualize and welcome in our 2023. This will allow us to be in proper mindset and in the proper energy as we go into the new year. Now, you don't have to do this. Trust me, you've done a great deal already and are way far more ahead than the majority of others, but I highly recommend this ritual to make your process of intentional goal setting even more effective. Now, by following the sections of this process and making your way gently through the activities, you will notice that your life begins to change. The negative thoughts, behaviors, and beliefs that you thought were here to stay will begin to leave. The habits and routines that were keeping you stuck will loosen their grip. Things that were draining your energy will lose their power, and relationships that were hurting you will fall away. But there is something more that you can do to make this process even more powerful. We're going to burn your lists. Now, by using the power of the element of fire to create a release and manifestation ritual. You see, as well as being physically destructive, fire is also energetically destructive and highly transformational. I personally do this ritual for myself on New Year's Eve to really harness the power and energy of the transition from one year to another, and use that power and energy to heighten my release of things I need to let go of, as well as the manifestation of what I desire. You don't have to do the same, but I think it's important that you be aware of the universe around you, our connection to it, and about energy. Now, you can safely build a small fire or simply use a candle, provided you have a fireproof bowl close by. This is the method that I use. I actually use a fire-safe bowl and matches. Now, once you've completed all the activities in this intentional goal setting process and you're ready to do this ritual, go ahead and get yourself all set up. Now, I highly recommend doing this outside, again, creating a sacred small space for yourself where you're free from distraction and interruption and where you feel safe, comfortable, and held. Again, you can safely start a small fire or use a candle lighter or matches with a fireproof bowl. Again, I use matches in a fireproof bowl. You'll also need your list of things you need to let go of, as well as your list of things you desire for the new year. Now, start off by, again, using the power of your breath to ground yourself like we've been doing with all of our sections in this process. Now, once you're relaxed, calm, and centered, set your intention. What's the reason and your desired outcome for this ritual? Don't be afraid to spend some time sitting quietly if needed. There's no need to rush. Take all the time that you need. Then you're first going to burn the list that you created of things you need to let go of. Now, before you do, take some time to review it, read over it. Again, don't be afraid to spend some time sitting quietly and really reflecting and knowing what you need to release and create that exact intention of letting it go. Then when you're ready, burn it. Now, as it burns, set the intention either out loud or silently to yourself to release everything on that list that no longer serves you. Something along the lines of, I release and let go of all these things that no longer serve me. They no longer have any power over me. They no longer hold me, hinder me, or keep me stuck. I am now set free of these things that no longer serve me. Now, next, you'll do the same with your list of what you want, what you desire in the new year. Now, I know some people are sometimes worried or concerned about burning their list of desires. They fear that by burning it, they are destroying their chances of manifesting them. But this just isn't true. When you burn your first list of things you need to let go of, you're actually surrendering these things to the universe. And when you burn the second list of your wants and desires, you're sending up your desires to fill the void and are asking the universe to support their manifestation. In fact, if you don't send up your desires after releasing what you need to let go of, be warned. Something else will come and fill that void, most likely the very same things that you just released. So when you're ready, you will then burn the list you created of things you want and desire in the new year. Now, before you do, again, take some time to read over it and review it. Again, don't be afraid to spend some time sitting quietly and really reflecting and getting to know what it is that you want, desire, and creating that exact intention of calling it all in. Then when you're ready, burn it. And as it burns, call in everything on your list that you desire, either out loud or silently to yourself. And that's it. I recommend taking some time to quietly sit and soak in what you just experienced, and then close your ritual of release and manifestation with an expression of gratitude to both yourself and to the universe for this experience that you've had with intentional goal setting as well as the ritual. So congratulations, you've successfully taken the first few steps, huge steps, in setting yourself up for success in the new year. Hello again, I'm so excited for you. Congratulations on completing the process of intentionally setting your goals for this upcoming new year. You should be very proud of yourself. It's a huge achievement. I know it took some time and definitely some analyzing, internalizing, and reflection that at times was uncomfortable and difficult. You are miles ahead of the majority of people who don't make the time or take the effort to do this. So again, major kudos to you. I'm so excited for you because your life is going to start to change. Just wait and see. So now what? What happens next? What do you do next? Well, you keep up the momentum, that's for sure. Now, there are some additional things that contribute to you being successful in achieving your goals. Now, during this series, A New Year, A New You, running all December long, our amazing panel of experts talk about several things that they have found and believe contribute to successful goal setting and achieving, as well as some of their strategies and methods of success. So be sure to check out the series episodes for some great insights. I highly recommend it. I also would like to give you some tips according to my own experience. So other things that I found contribute to being successful and not just setting my goals, but achieving them and pursuing them as well is mindset. Our minds are so powerful, more powerful than I think a lot of us even realize. And being in the proper mindset is going to be crucial in helping you to be successful in achieving those wants and desires that you want for 2023. Now, in order to help you with this, I do have a book called Mindset, The Power of the Mind, Fulfilling Your Potential with a Mindset for Success. And you can find that on Amazon. It is available on ebook, on Kindle, as a paperback, and also in an Audible version. So check that out, and that will help you with your mindset, get you started on developing the mindset that is going to help you be successful with your goals. Another thing that I have found to be really crucial, really imperative to being successful in life and in accomplishing your goals is creating and designing your own empowering morning routine customized for you. So an empowering routine really allows you to get into a space physically, mentally, and emotionally to have an incredible day, to really dictate how your day is going to play out instead of being subject to circumstances and other people in the world. So there is a guide that I have created. It's a free guide that you can find in the link that we'll include below. In coming up and creating and designing your own empowering routine, what types of things you want to consider and things that you can include in doing that. I've also found that planning your day ahead of time is crucial for success as well. So what I personally do is at the end of my workday, when I'm done working for the day, I will actually sit down and with my calendar on my phone and actually plan out my next day. It's actually scientifically proven with research and data that if you plan your day ahead and then go into a state of relaxation and rejuvenation, it allows your brain to kind of process and go through what it is that it's going to need to do the next day. So it actually sets you up even more for success because your brain will start to run through ways to be more productive and efficient, already knowing what it is they need to do the next day. So super important and helpful that I found for myself, and I'm sure you'll find it helpful as well. Also, subscribing to and actively watching the series, the monthly series that we offer on our YouTube channel, Transformation Channel, and the videos that we periodically put up on the channel will help to keep you motivated and will help feeding you knowledge and insights and keep you learning different strategies and methods to be successful. I have dedicated time and effort in collaborating with others to putting this channel out for you. Because again, myself and my organization, Oversight Global, we really are addressing the consciousness crisis in the world. I think that is very much needed, and I'm very passionate about making people aware and conscious of things that, we're not taught in school or that we're not aware of until very late in life. And if we knew it ahead of time, what incredible lives we could experience. So take the opportunity to get filled with the free knowledge and insights that we offer. And, we offer that. We make the effort and the time to offer that to help you grow and to help you heal and to help you to become whole and move towards fulfilling your full potential. So I would highly encourage you to take advantage of that. Also, follow me and connect with me on my various social medias. We'll have those links in the description below, as well as our series guests that we have. Again, I'm blessed to be able to collaborate with so many amazing experts and entrepreneurs who, are aligned with my mission of making the world a better place. And, if these guests, as you watch our series episodes, resonate with you, I highly encourage you to connect and follow them as well. Also enroll in either my or one of my expert guests' various programs that we have. We have some people who have amazing coaching programs, people who teach on money. We have people who teach on creating positivity and planning. We have people who are energy healers, people who are business coaches. And then I myself am a leadership and career coach, and I also have my own programs. So I encourage you to whoever you resonate with, whether it be me or some of our other guests like John Slocum, Lorraine Siegel, Laura Kirtley, Kendria Johnson. Gosh, there's so many out there. But if you resonate with any of us, I encourage you to connect with us and consider taking some of our programs and courses in 2023. I personally am going to be launching some new courses, as well as my first group coaching program. It's called Altitude Training for Leaders. Super excited to get it out there. And yeah, if that's something that you think you might align with, I'd encourage you to check it out. And again, check out the other offerings from our other experts as well. Also, I wanted to mention that this process that we just did, this intentional goal setting process, as well as the release and manifestation ritual, isn't just for New Year's. I put this together every, New Year's, because it tends to be a time where people start to set goals for the new year, but it can actually be done at any time. A few ideas of when you can do this are during a seasonal shift, especially during equinoxes or solstices. Also at the close of a lunar cycle, if you follow lunar cycles, when you at the end of a personal year cycle, so your birthday, or another numerological cycle, moving from one phase of your life to another, like giving birth to a child, giving up a habit, or starting a new health regimen are examples. When moving from one job to another, a great time to do this process as well. At the end of a relationship, another good time. There's really no limits. You can do this whenever you feel the desire or a need to. So I just wanted to put that out there, that you don't need to just wait every year until New Year's to do this. You can do it whenever you feel you need to. So again, congratulations. Thank you for going on this journey and allowing me to support you in this and creating intentional goals for yourself and strategies to be successful in achieving them. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again in future videos and in our future monthly series. And I hope to see you in a program soon. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. Take care.